Hi, I'm Dan Slagen, CMO of Thrive5, and welcome to another episode of Locals. Today, we're here in Melrose, Massachusetts at Buckalew's General Store, and this is owner Robin Peevey. Who's going to start by giving us a tour of the store.
My background originally, my first career was starting my own company when I was 23 years old. I started a catering company out of my apartment and grew it to a cafe bakery, full service catering out of Davis Square in the 90s. Hi there, welcome to Buckalew's. This is our store. We've been open now for going into our 5th year here in Melrose on Main Street. We have a variety of everything. I call it Buckalew's General Store because it is a general store.
Yeah, and how did you come up with the idea for a general store?
My vision, bring it into the 21st century, but make it more of a store for everyone, not just for older women. There's something here for everyone. As you can see, starting in the front, we have a great penny candy selection because here in Melrose we have a lot of young families who have small children. In fact, last week I had out front, there's a great picture on our Instagram of kids who lined up all their tiny mini tricycles and bicycles out front because they're all coming in here for a penny candy afternoon. So we have stuff for kids. We also have stuff for your pets. We have a great selection of kind of fun pet items. I try to buy as much as I can from either local artisans, local producers, and or small batch people I find on Fair, which is kind of like an Etsy wholesale. A lot of our products are from people who hand make the items. It's just a fun store. It's basically, like I said, the store you'd find on Martha's Vineyard up in Vermont, but it's here in Melrose on Main Street. I also have a fun selection of holiday items. Besides penny candy, I also do chocolates. We do holiday events, like all kinds of during the Christmas candy. We do things for Halloween. We do things for every event, every holiday. We have a great selection as well. We try to keep on hand a Vermont nut-free because there's always those folks, especially young kids here, who have allergies to nuts, so we try to make sure they have something for them too. And we also do all kinds of just fun candy that you can come in and grab by the bag. You can bring it to your office, bring it to a friend. We do a nice selection of candies from a variety of chocolatiers in the area. The Candy Dish, which is North Andover, makes amazing chocolates, as well as Harbor Sweets. We have stuff from Asher's in Pennsylvania, just a big selection of candy and chocolates. And then on this side of the room, we have all our fun gifts. And the gifts, I try to make them fun. The idea is like, bring some joy to people you know, to yourself. We have all the crazy fun socks from Bucalew, kitchen towels, things that make you laugh. We have a lot of great body oils, essential oils, candles. Again, trying to stay with the theme. Every 2 weeks, this place completely turns around to something new. Right now, we're celebrating fall, harvest, Halloween's around the corner. Great gifts for people if they're going to someone's house for dinner, entertaining. It's kind of fun to find something unique, something different. We love Melrose. So we have so many things in Melrose that have Melrose on them in the store. So we have a really nice variety of dish towels, wine glasses, mugs that have 02176. Again, I try to focus on the customer and who I see coming into the door and what they request as well. Oftentimes my customers will bring me ideas. Have you ever heard of this person, this artist who makes a certain kind of quilt or makes dog toys or who makes candles in the area? So I often take a lead from customers. I do a lot of research, a lot of research. I do a lot of time online, as well as going to craft fairs, gift stores, farmers markets. That's how I find a lot of my products. It's, as far as keeping the balance, it's just watching what sells, watching what people, how they respond, and being flexible, because I realize oftentimes I may select something that I think is fantastic. And my customers will walk right past it and not be that impressed. So I have to be willing to say, oh, that was a mistake, I'll learn from it. All right, we'll buy something else. And just keep moving and changing. Signs. We do sell a lot of signs, which people love to put up on their porch, in their house, in their living rooms. And then we do sell a lot of glassware as well, with Melrose, the real house wines of Melrose. A lot of fun things, and wedding gifts. We sell things from Mariposa. If you're going to someone's wedding, this is a great place to come in and find all kinds of unique items, as well as some traditional wedding gifts. This store reflects Melrose because it's about community. People are very supportive of each other here. There's families of all ages. There's lots of young families with small children. So the items I sell and the space I've created is to provide a place, and I think that's provide a place, a space for those families and for the people who live here in Melrose. I often have a lot of seniors coming in, like during the daytime, then the afternoon switches over to young professionals, the weekends is all the families, so different times of day, different places, different times of the week, I have different people here. But it's because Melrose is a real community-centered town. People care about each other, people care about Melrose. People support each other in the community, very involved. I have a daughter at the high school. People are very involved in education here, and really wanting this town to be better every year. So it's kind of like a growing community. We sell coffee by the pound, but we're getting ready to sell it by the cup, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. We're going to be offering all types of fresh, ground, local coffees, chocolates, hot chocolates. And then we sell things for entertaining, bar, home. My background's in food, so we love to be able to bring products into the store that are about, entertaining, about gathering friends, family together, having a nice time. We do a great variety of locally made hot sauces, jellies, jams, pickles. We also do gift baskets and gifts made to order with our products. A lot of those with either beer, wine, craft beer, or whatever people like. I mean, we often ask our customers, what do you like? And we'll kind of find out about the person and then create a gift box for them.
What are the types of events or ways that you get people into the store in groups?
We have a lot of events here as far as formal beer tastings, wine tastings. We sell craft beer here, so I will invite the local craft brewers to come in and do tastings, as well as different wine distributors, or wine. Some of the growers and people from the vineyards will come in as well. We like to be able to bring people in for food tastings. I will invite someone from the farmers market, like I mentioned before, the Seven Hills, they make pasta right here in Melrose. So they'll come in here and do a pasta tasting, and having things accessible so people try it and kind of can get a real feel of a product or sense of the person who makes it, I think is important to that experience. It's not just something you order online. It's actually, you could come in here and talk to the person who actually made the pasta that you're buying. I think that's really fun and really important. Kind of like bring a farmer's market inside.
I love that. Yeah. And so as you're bringing people into the store just for shopping or for events, what is the experience, or what are sort of the core values that you want Bucalew to exude and for people to really pick up on when they come in?
I think about welcomeness. I want everyone to know that everyone here is welcome and everyone's valued. And I think that's really important. That when they come in here, that they're welcome and that we get to know who they are, that they're a person. They're not just a customer buying something. We really know a lot about our customers. I know where their kids go to school. I know if they have a soccer game this weekend. I know if the football team's playing Friday night. So it's about sharing. It's about this understanding of getting to know someone's name, getting to know their families, getting to know who they are, And that kind of makes that connection, because they become more than customers, they become my friends in a lot of ways. So that's I think a big part of that. Recently brought in local cheese from Smith Country Cheese places in Vermont, New Hampshire. We're about to expand that along with our kitchen. We're going to be able to offer a lot more in the way of cheese. Goes with our wine. We have a wonderful boutique selection of wine, really interesting bottles, fun things that you could either enjoy yourself or bring to someone's house as a gift. I did skip over, I just wanted to point out, we also bring in local bread. This bread is quite literally to die for. This is an olive loaf that just came in from the bread shop in Wakefield. It's 2 women, small bakery. This is the kind of product that I truly in my heart love to sell. It's good, it's quality, it's fun. And like I said, our wines, we try to put tags on all our wines to give people an idea of what it's about, because everyone should enjoy the wine, not worry about the label. Or wine's so personal. It's like people should love what they love. They shouldn't worry about what other people say they should like. It's like, we have so many varieties, so many different types, and we try to work with people's palates or what they're making for dinner that night, or to try to get them out of their box and maybe always drinking one kind of wine, try new things. But it's really fun. They're from Italy, France, California, and every week, again, that changes regularly as well. And then this is kind of our fun area. While the kids are getting penny candy, the dads and moms are back here finding the latest in craft beer. We try to sell mainly local craft beer. I would say 85-90% of all of our beer is from within, I would say 50 miles, 100 miles of Boston. And it's only craft beer. And it's a lot of fun because that does change every single week. I spend probably 15 hours a week ordering beer, looking at beer lists, looking at reviews, talking to my customers about what they want to have. It's a really fun place to come in and get your old favorites, but also discover something new. Yeah, this is our work in progress. This is going to be our new kitchen area. We're going to be moving some things around and expanding out. We're going to create a room where we can prepare our own foods, and as well as have wine tastings, beer tastings, and the most fun of all, cooking classes and experiences around food. We're hoping to have this up and going in probably about, I would say, 2 to 3 weeks, and definitely by the holidays. My goal is by November for sure to have everything going. But it's going to be a lot of fun, and we're really looking forward to it.
The first question I want to ask you about is sort of your background as a business owner. How does one come to run a general store?
Entrepreneurship was something that was what I came into the world with, is what I came into business with. After that, I went back to college, finished my degree, got involved in higher education because I became very passionate about higher ed with adult learners and really helping people who, like myself, may have decided to go a different path when they were younger but wanted to go back and get their degree. So that became something that was very near and dear to my heart and worked on for almost 15 years. But the love of owning my own business became overwhelming. I mean, I really wanted to go back to being able to have that sense of connection to my own place and to my people and to my community. And so that's what brought me back to owning Bucalew's.
Got it. Do you feel like you were born to be an entrepreneur?
I kind of think I was born to be an entrepreneur. I think there's a certain level of risk-taking that you're comfortable with. I think there's just that feeling I know I've always had even as a kid of just going out and trying it, going out and doing it, and not being afraid to fail or to make some mistakes. But it's more important to have the adventure. Adventures are important to me. I love adventures, like in all respects, like going on one personally, taking my family on one, but exploring. So I think being an entrepreneur is about living in exploration or living the adventure.
Yeah. And how did you come up with the idea for a general store?
Well, this was like 4 or 5 years ago. We had seen that there was a store that was for sale on Main Street that was called Sweet Thoughts, and it had been in the community for 16 years, and it was kind of like a Hallmark store. and had a little bit of everything. So when we took over the store, I needed to transition it, and the idea was to bring it into the products and my vision, bring it into the 21st century, but make it more of a store for everyone, not just for older women. I really wanted it to reflect the community. So for me, they sold chocolates, but I wanted to not only sell chocolate, I wanted to sell penny candy for little kids. I wanted to sell gifts for all ages. Often I would see the men out front with the newspaper and their wife would come in the store, so I was trying to change that entire feel. So I brought in the craft beer because I really wanted it to be a store for the whole family. And I didn't want it to be a gender neutral store. I wanted anyone and everyone to be welcome in the store.
Yeah, that makes sense. And you mentioned community. That's one thing that I want to talk about. When we told the marketing team at Thrive 5 we were doing Buckalews, they all got really excited when they looked at the website. Oh my gosh, their branding's so cool. We love the way the store looks. It feels like it's a part of the town. You're right here on Main Street.
Right.
How do you feel like this store connects to the local community?
Well, I think that the way the store is a community. I often say that Buckalew is a direct reflection of Melrose. And it really is. I don't feel like I could have a store I could have it in another town, but it would be a different store.
With your staff here, a couple questions, but how do you first find people that are going to work here, that are going to share the same core values as you, and they're going to treat and interact with the customers with the same level of care and excitement and ingenuity that you have?
Well, hiring is always something that's a challenge on many levels, but I've been very fortunate. I have some really great people. I often look for people who are from Melrose, who live here in Melrose. That helps for many reasons. One, obviously it's convenient to get to work, but most importantly, it's because they know people already. So that sense of understanding the community, of understanding what the values are of the store, which reflect Melrose, is they're already part of that community. They've grown up here, they've gone to school here, they have kids who go to school here. That's important. Another way is that something I do is I always try to communicate that it's a very important value for me personally. So when someone comes in to train here at the store, to work here at the store, I really want them to understand how important it is to connect with our customers. That even if they're busy doing a task, they need to look up, recognize who's coming in the store, and say hello, if nothing else. So that in their head it becomes that's the first most important thing, is the customer.
Do you have a favorite interview question when you're interviewing people?
I do. I think one of the important questions to ask is to find out what do they find valuable when they go into a store? Like what's their best store experience and what is their worst store experience, and then tell me a little bit about what that is, why. Because I feel like if I can find out from someone what they value about a shopping experience, then I can get to know a little bit about what they would be like as an employee giving that shopping experience.
I love that. And how do you think about managing your employees or guiding or leading your employees here in the store?
I feel like here's my theory, it's always been, and I've been successful my whole life from when I owned my catering company through higher ed into now around my employees and having teams, is that you hire good people, you find talent, you train them well, you support them. And my theory as a manager has always been is to support my team, and then let them go. I hate that micromanaging. I really want people to be able to express and use their talents. The way I've grown here is to be able to bring people in with talent and ideas, and then say, there's a table over there where all this new merchandise just came in, make it look pretty. And they'll look at me sometimes with big eyes, like, what does that mean, make it look pretty? And I said, I've seen your work, you know what you can do. Just make it look good, make it look impressive. And then I'm never ever disappointed. I walk out and people, when you expect something good from your employees, you get something good back. I've always been, the expectation is I have high bar of expectation because I want things to look a certain way, meaning a certain quality, but I don't get into the minutia with how it gets there. That's up to the person I've hired who's talented and has those strengths and can do it.
I want to talk a little about what sells, what doesn't sell, but in terms of the customer. When you notice a customer come in, it seems like the first thing you do is try and help, be welcome, make them feel comfortable. What do you do when you know someone is either not going to buy today, or is on the fence about buying, or is going to buy something small and you can try and upsell them? How do you think about that whole customer strategy?
I think about that whole customer strategy. I want people to come in the door. I feel very confident when they come in the door, they're going to love this place. And if there may be somebody who doesn't, but because not everyone loves everything, but people do love being here. So they may not see something they like today. They may not see something that they want to buy for that gift they need for this weekend, but I feel really confident that they're going to come back. So I treat them as if they're going to come back. I treat all customers, regardless if they buy a penny candy or if they're buying a $150 hand-carved cutting board. I want them to understand that they're valued regardless. That's not, their value isn't what they buy that day, because it's their longevity of that connection and our relationship.
That's a great point. The value is not what they buy today. I like
No.
that. Any tricks or favorite best practices to get people physically off the street into the store? I've seen signs. I've seen what are your favorite ideas there?
It's funny. It's making the place feel and look as appealing from the outside as you can, and bringing people in. Making sure that there's, like right now we have our mums and pumpkins and things out on display because we want people to feel like they're coming in. Lighting is great. For the holidays, I have a whole box full of twinkle lights and all kinds of interesting things to get people's attention over looking this way. But mainly, I think what gets people in the door is word of mouth. It's what people know. So it's about my reputation. It's about what people know about Buckalew's. That they tell two people who tells two people who tells two people. That to me is the most important way to get people in the door, is having a commitment to good customer service, interesting products, a really fun place, a friendly, welcoming place, and then letting that let my customers sell for me.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think you said the whole store turns over every couple weeks.
Almost completely. Like the beer turns over every week. The whole store turns over completely, probably every month. But every week we have new products in here.
Wow. And how do you think about marketing? You just mentioned word of mouth, which is sort of the number one for local businesses, but how do you improve word of mouth, grow word of mouth? You said you did a little bit of social media, we were talking earlier, but what kind of runs through your head in terms of the must-haves on marketing versus the nice-to-haves versus kind of interesting, but we're not going to do it now?
Well, one of the things, being a community where people support each other, one of my most important marketing tools is also supporting different types of events, supporting different groups in the Melrose community, spending a lot of time and money on, preparing things for the robotics club. They have a kitchen tour, or contributing to the farmers market fundraiser. We're going to be doing charcuterie spreads and boards for those. Is actually volunteering, putting myself out there and making sure that I'm as actively involved in the community as possible. And then on social media, I think it's so important. I don't think I could do enough, and in fact, it's an area where I feel like I need to do more. Is just that daily kind of just posting. Hi from Buckalew's. Here we are. Here's what we do. Here's a peek into what we can offer if you want to come in and visit. I think that has to be constant.
And you said you feel like you notice the difference when you post versus you don't.
Absolutely. It's like night and day. Like if I spend some time and put together some thoughtful posts and then schedule them and have them go out for a week where I've gotten busy and I forgot to do that, I can totally see the difference. Yeah.
Wow. I want to transition a little bit to you as a business owner and as a person trying to live their own personal life. I mean, how much does running a business just take over every aspect of your life, and how intertwined is your life with this business?
Well, I think for any business owner every business owner, especially when they're starting out, we had to move our store to a new location. So many ways this year is starting over. We had to do a complete new build out. It's turned out to be great for us, but it's been a lot of work, so it's been a lot of time. So I probably live, eat, breathe my business like most entrepreneurs. I have to really make sure that I set aside some time that's not involving work, and it's important. I have a family. I have a beautiful 15-year-old daughter. I want to make sure, I know time goes by fast, so I do try to isolate time around that so that it's my time with her. The beauty of being here in Melrose, I live in Melrose, so even though the store is 24/7 for me, I also can say, I'm leaving at 2:30, I've got to go pick my daughter up and take her to the dentist. I have that flexibility, so it goes both ways. I have flexibility, but I also spend a tremendous amount of time with my business.
Yeah, and what are your secrets for sort of checking out or making sure mental health stays where it needs to be, and just making sure you're not overly stressed and you're getting the time you need?
I think that it's about so much of retail is seasonal. So part of it is always knowing there's a light at the end of the tunnel. There are seasons like from now through the holidays where I know I'm not going to have any time, but I kind of accept that that's what it is. And then I plan great vacations and great time off in the slow time. so that I have something to look forward to, so my family has something to look forward to. And then we do that, and we take that time together.
Yeah, that's great. That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much for being here with us today.
Yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you.
awesome.
No, this is fun.